You are my star. You are my star. Wherever you are, whoever you are. We can disagree on things, but still like each other. We can still be friends and comrades, brothers and sisters. There's really no choice. That's how we were made from the same stuff, and we will continue to be that. So, and we're inspired by other people. No, no man's an island. No woman's an island. Whether it's your grandma or your mom or your dad or friends, I'm in a good mood, partly because I talked to an old friend on the phone for a while. You don't need 1,000 friends, but you need a handful. You need, I don't know, half a dozen if you're lucky. And I'll include family with that. I remember a kid in my classroom saying, Mr. Trumbo, I have 500 friends. And I'm like, nah, nobody has 500 friends. A friend is so special, you know. Now you can say, oh, yeah, I went to school with him. We're friends. Like, okay, you're friends because you know each other and you like each other, but you don't talk. You haven't seen him in 2 years. So when I'm talking about a friend, probably somebody you see or do something with or talk to at least once every 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know. And you do something like, go for a hike for 2 hours, something special, or go for coffee for 2 hours. Or when you're feeling good or bad, you share things with that friend. And to me, it's good, it's nice to have good friends. And there's only one best friend, and the best friend is your lover. I've had some best friends in my life, and they've always been my girlfriend. It's always been her. And you'll hear a lot of couples say, we were friends first, or she's my best friend, or he's my best friend. I think that's sweet, and I think that's a great foundation. You're going to have to go into the love-making, sexual side of it, and we're reluctant to talk about that. And I think that's a problem, that men and women have to talk about that and see what works for both of them. But he wants to make love 3 times a week. She wants to make love once every 10 days or once a week. You'll have to find a middle ground. And that's okay. You can do that. You can do that. It's real important to communicate what you like, what you don't like, what works for you, what doesn't work for you. For whatever reason, God made us men orgasm too easily a lot of the time, and women it takes a while. So men need to slow down, and women need to teach us the best way to help them achieve climax. From what I understand, it's clitoral stimulation rather than vaginal in most women. And then how best to do that. You can't be shy to talk about important things. This is an important subject. You can't be shy to talk about that. If you don't want to talk about it, then write it down or write it in an email. But communicate with your best friend, your lover. Communicate. All right, let me share some art because I think I want to be positive today. You can tell I like colors. What does it say? The ultimate supreme is everywhere, bright, indivisible, untouched by sin. I'm starting to use some lines from the Vedas, the Upanishads, which are sacred books of the Hindus, the Tao Te Ching, Taoism, which I guess isn't really a religion, the Dhammapada, which is the Buddha, the Bible. What do I like? Beyond all things, love each other deeply. Wow. Fantastic. beyond all things, love each other deeply. And I'll give a shout out to the Muslims. When I was in Morocco, salam alaikum. So when you see each other here, a lot of times it's hi, howdy, and maybe how you doing. And there it's salam alaikum. Peace be unto you. And salakum alam. No, it's salam alaikum, alaikum salam, and peace be unto you. So when they greet each other, I don't know if you call it blessing somebody, but peace be unto you. Peace be unto you. That's sweet. I think it's because I've been watching not the Olympics, the Tour de France, the highlights. May my body be strong, my tongue be sweet. May I grow in spiritual wisdom. May my love grow more and more. The Lord of love dwells in the heart and the hearts of all. The Lord of love dwells in the hearts of all. That sounds like the Upanishads, maybe the Vedas. The Vedas came first, then the Upanishads. The Vedas are one of the oldest religious books in the world. 5,000 years old? I'm not sure. I've been doing kites lately. I like the motif. I think maybe I should do something more in the kite, like a darker yellow, make it kind of interesting. It's an honor to be alive. It's an honor to love. Thank you, Great Spirit. Lead us into the grace of this existence. That's from me. You probably say, I can tell. Everything that's on these paintings is positive. I don't want something up on the wall that's negative that you see every day. I want a positive message. Bless that the sun with extensive radiance rises for peace. May the four quarters of the horizon be auspicious for peace and harmony. Yeah, the other night, I woke up and wrote down, paint teddy bears. It's a motif. I've been doing horses for a while. I like horses. Everybody likes horses because they're pretty, beautiful. Another kite. Another Eiffel Tower. Another teddy bear. Okay, so here's some that, those I'm not sure that they're finished. I think probably some of them are. These are finished. And I used to be more worried about them. I'm not that worried anymore. It's just kind of like, okay, that's as good as I can do. I can't add anything else. That's as good as I can do. It's not perfect. I know that. Still not sure if, I don't know. Into that teddy bear, man. It's a peaceful motif. And the kite is peaceful. I like this lion, but it looks kind of unhappy. That's what I don't like. You can tell I like colors. You can tell I like horses. Anyway, I hope you like some of that. Because I want this to be a positive channel. You Are My Star is supposed to be a positive channel. I have another thing I'm doing on a different YouTube channel called Teaching American History. And I'm being lazy, struggling to be prepared to go through, early America, Native Americans, Jamestown, Roanoke, the first lost colony, Roanoke. Sir Walter Raleigh financed that by himself, and I guess came over with them. And then when he went back, and was that when the Spanish Armada, English defeated the Spanish Armada 1588, so it took a little while, he came back and they're all gone. But they may have integrated with the local tribe and became the Lumbee. It's interesting. It is interesting. It's hard to know all these things. And many people are smarter than me and have good memory, and that's not my forte. Not sure what my forte is. We probably have many. You're good at something. No, you're good at more than one thing. You're good at, let's say, a handful of things. Better than most people. You may be really good at something. And a lot of times that takes time and effort, and you might just love it so much. I'm pretty good at lyrics on songs, and that's only because of 50 years of I love writing, trying to get these lyrics together and make them interesting. And if I write the same thing every time, I'm going to bore myself. A lot of times that's it. You're going to bore yourself. So you're excited about something, and you're excited for yourself too. So some books just for fun. If you want to, people talk about being patriots. That's cool. You should probably read more about our history if you want to, be, as you would say, a good American. A good American, I think, loves each other and loves the earth and participates and tries to be a good citizen. Loves more, hates less, or maybe doesn't hate at all. But David Hawke, The Colonial Experience, is pretty heavy, but it'll give you a good background on basically the French and English colonies and the Native Americans and all of that going on for 200 years or more before the Revolution. So a good thing to look at and see what was happening, including the horrible things and the massacres. But that book, there's another book I showed you where they had more massacres, or it might have been in my other channel, but David Hawke's, I read the whole thing. Or parts of it in Canada got me. I was a little bored. Did I skip some pages? Maybe. It's like 700 pages. I probably skipped 5 or less. Joseph Ellis, he's probably written maybe 10 books on the colonial era. This one, the Pulitzer, and I like it. But I think if I recommend a book by him, it's George Washington, His Excellency. 300 pages and just really well done. I like David McCullough's 1776. You could say easy read. It's not easy, but it's a good read. 300 pages. Catherine Drinker Bowen. I wish she would have written more books about the colonial period. This is really good, one of the best. And so I read a book by her. What's his name? Bacon. Francis Bacon? I forget. It wasn't that interesting to me. But Miracle at Philadelphia is fantastic. You should probably read that in school. So the top two, this is what I'm into now. Pulitzer Prize winner, which doesn't mean it's good, but this is good, and it's really heavy. I'm halfway. But what's happening is the idea of representation around 1770, 75. In England at the time, if Fayetteville, I'm in Fayetteville, my hometown, if Fayetteville elected a representative, that representative would represent all of America, not just Fayetteville. I'm a member of the realm, and they would represent the realm. And don't be so selfish about what about me, our town, my town. So Britain, and a lot of what people said, it was being corrupted. Parliament and the king were corrupt and taking advantage of individual average people. So a big part of this is looking at what representation meant. And a lot of people are arguing, this is representative government, representative democracy. We elect this guy to go to the government and represent us and do what we say. We want to be able to do this. We want to stop the burning of plastic. We want to have more wind energy. I don't know, whatever we want, that individual represents us. Laundry's done. And that I think that had happened in England more 200 years before, maybe in the 1500s, but they had gotten away from that. And so that's one of the things happening around the revolution, is that we're saying we elect people to represent us and our voice, and that's not happening. And you talk about taxation without representation, yes, but representation was even bigger than the idea of one issue, taxation without representation. So anyway, that's a great book. It's not easy. So much information. It doesn't go over my head, but it doesn't stay in. It doesn't stay in my head. Yeah, I recommend reading some of this in government class. I taught government, and we didn't read any of this, but now I know. I think you should. I would have them read certain sections of books from college. Not a lot, but interesting sections. And then I would tell them afterwards. I said, you just read what college kids are reading. I said, so, don't tell me you can't go to college, you're not smart enough. You just did what they do. I wanted to give them confidence, but also I wanted them to have a reality of, oh, this is what they read. Well, I just read that. And it's true. A 16, 17-year-old can read and understand quite well. So, affirmation, baby. Affirmation. Let's tell each other how awesome we are, because we are. And you feel better. I think I talked about this, reading positive, this is positive spiritual stuff. It doesn't have to be spiritual stuff. But like the video I watched of the older lady that moved to France saying, I wanted my last years to be happy ones, and I wasn't happy in America, and nothing was exciting, and nobody visited me, and my life was boring, and so she moved to France by herself. This lady, I don't know, was she 70, 65 or 70? And she was a lot happier there, and she did this video, and I'm real, glad she did, because, it showed me, hey, that's cool, man. People can do that. People can decide, man, I deserve to be happy, and I'm not happy here. Yeah. If you're in a relationship and it's like, man, I'm not happy in this relationship, and especially if it's abusive, of course, get the hell out of there. But even if there's no love, a loveless marriage or whatever, it's like, why are you doing that? I remember when we were getting a divorce, they would say, this is what they say, right? Are you working on it? Are you working on it? I'm like, well, you work on it every day, and it's not working. So, you do work on it every day. You try to be good to each other, and is there a spark? Is there a spark of love? And I will tell you this, I believe in the opposites. If you're a fiery person like me, you're going to hopefully find somebody that's real chill and stable and salt of the earth, grounded, because you need that and they need you. It's positive and negative, and I don't mean negative as a bad term. I'm just saying that's the opposites attract. As Joseph Campbell talked about his wife, the other side of God. Yeah. A couple I know, he's real laid back and she's fiery, and it's like, that's what you want. He can keep her on the ground instead of just flying away into the nether land, and she can help pull him off the ground into an excitement that he wouldn't otherwise have. So, preach on, brother. How do we love each other the best? Let's try to help each other figure that out. Be yourself. Naturally, your personality. Don't try to be something you're not. You'll be alone a lot. That's all right. Everybody is. Hopefully, you have friends and family that can be, part of that support group and that, I don't know what you call it. Not just support group, just your people. And be open, be positive, be fearless, and maybe love will come your way, and maybe love will come your way and stay, or you'll go through different loves like most people. But be positive. It can happen. Um, I'm not like, what's it, online dating sites and stuff like that. I'm so old school. I don't want to do that. So hopefully through friends or someplace you'll meet somebody and just start a conversation. And the hardest thing, if it's going good, the hardest thing is to say, do you want to get together sometime? Or can I have your number? Or, yeah, that's the hardest thing. So a lot of times, like my friend met this lady and they're talking, they have a really good talk, and she's talking most of the time, he said. And then they leave. And nothing, probably never see each other again. But it was a really good, caring conversation. So it would have been nice if one of them would have said, what's your number? Or let's get coffee. I don't know. Don't be afraid. I don't like to say brave. I like to say fearless. Be fearless. Don't be afraid of life. Life's coming at you, and good and bad, and I miss my parents and my brother. That's a bad part of life, but that's my path, and I can still visit their graves and remember them fondly. I mean, I can remember them fondly here, but I like going to the grave. Cemetery because it's more focused for me. And some people say, "Oh, that's so morose or sad," and I'm like, "No, man, I'm going there and remembering good things. It's positive." Here we go. Vast is the ocean of sacred words, which enlightens the universe with divine vision. The Vedas, 5,000 years ago. Not exalting the gifted prevents quarreling. Not collecting treasures prevents stealing. Not seeing desirable things prevents confusion of the heart. The sage stays behind, thus is ahead. They are detached, thus at one with all. Through selfless action, they attain fulfillment. That's nice. Love the world as your own self, then you can truly care for all things. So nice. That's the Tao Te Ching. The universe is sacred. The Tao Te Ching. I love the Tao Te Ching. The ultimate supreme is everywhere, bright, indivisible, untouched by sin, wise, immanent, and transcendent. Holding the cosmos together, the gods are enshrined in the hearts of all. Covet nothing. The Creator who is in all creatures, that which is born and to be born, its face is everywhere. In the golden city of the heart dwells the Lord of love. That's the Upanishads. Nice. You gotta, that's just positive, make you feel good. So yeah, there's a lot of negative stuff in this world, and part of the reason is we haven't been very good at citizenship and trying to make sure that the planet is clean and healthy, and that societies are good and healthy, and equality is achieved, and poverty is eradicated. And as far as I can tell, concentrated wealth is a curse that we accept and promote even. We talk about the freedom to create just billions and billions of dollars of wealth for one person, and it destroys equality and democracy and humanity. So I hope we become better citizens, and we deserve it. We all deserve it. We deserve a better community with less crime, less hunger, less homelessness, less division, more compassion and love, mass transit, clean energy, jobs, respect, good housing that's safe, which may entail apartments for a lot of us instead of a house. We need to get used to that and be okay with that, like a lot of the world. But the apartments need to be nice and not tiny, and close to a park and green space outside. But with 8 billion people, you're not going to be able to build a house with a yard for everybody. And whatever's best for the community and the earth, we need to start moving in that direction. I'm not saying blow up all the houses. I'm just saying people that can't afford a home, let's help them afford an apartment that's nice. I was on a train in the Netherlands and riding around looking out the window, some really nice apartment buildings, not too big. They're not 20 stories high. What's France or Paris? In Paris, it's basically 6 stories, nothing above 6 stories. Yeah, you don't want these the projects and the ghettos where you make them so big. And oh my, what's his name? Alistair. There's a basketball player who's really good, and they did a documentary on him in New York, and they took a shot of him going down the hall in his project in the ghetto in New York, and the hallway was so thin, I couldn't believe it. It would be almost hard to pass somebody in the hallway. Inhumane. Whoever built those, it was not about humanity. It wasn't not about caring about people's humanity. And so we have to get better at that, loving each other, truly loving each other. Above all things, baby, love each other deeply. Yeah, yeah, yeah.